What if I told you that every single day you're probably eating foods that are literally stealing years from your life? What if the breakfast you had this morning contained a substance more addictive than cocaine? And what if that heart-healthy margarine your doctor recommended is actually causing the very heart disease it's supposed to prevent? Dr. Sten Ekberg, Olympic decathlete turned holistic doctor, has spent decades studying the human body's metabolic machinery. He's identified 12 foods that don't just make you sick. They're systematically destroying your cellular function, accelerating aging and, well, programming your body for disease. These aren't just unhealthy foods. These are metabolic poisons disguised as nutrition. And the most dangerous part? The food industry has convinced you that some of them are actually good for you. In the next 12 minutes, you'll discover the 12 foods Dr. Ekberg says you should never eat again if you want to live longer, feel better, and optimize your body's natural healing mechanisms. But here's what most people miss. It's not just about avoiding these foods. It's about understanding why they're destroying you at the cellular level. Are you ready to discover what's been sabotaging your health? Let's dive in. What if I told you there's a substance in your kitchen right now that's more addictive than heroin and more inflammatory than poison ivy? You wake up tired, your energy crashes every afternoon, and your brain feels foggy by 3 p.m. You blame stress, age, or genetics. But Dr. Ekberg knows the real culprit. It's hijacking your metabolism every single day. In his practice, Dr. Ekberg has seen patients reverse diabetes, eliminate chronic fatigue, and lose decades of aging simply by eliminating this one category of foods. But here's the part that blew his mind. Brain scans of sugar addicts look identical to cocaine addicts. But here's the secret most doctors won't tell you. Sugar doesn't just make you fat. It's literally programming your cells to age faster through a process called glycation, where sugar molecules bind to proteins and create inflammatory compounds called AGEs, or advanced glycation end products. Dr. Ekberg's protocol is to eliminate all forms of refined sugar, high fructose corn syrup, agave nectar, and artificial sweeteners. Read every label. Sugar hides under more than 60 different names. Your cells will begin repairing themselves within 72 hours, and you'll experience cognitive clarity you haven't felt in years. Why do some people live to 100 with perfect heart health while others have heart attacks at 45? You've been told to avoid saturated fat and eat heart-healthy vegetable oils. But Dr. Ekberg's research reveals the shocking truth. These manufactured fats are literally hardening your arteries like concrete. Trans fats don't exist in nature. They're created in laboratories to extend shelf life. But when you eat them, your body can't process them. They become incorporated into your cell membranes, making them rigid and dysfunctional. Dr. Ekberg calls them plastic food, and your body treats them like plastic. But here's the secret the food industry doesn't want you to know. Even foods labeled 0 grams trans fat can contain up to 0.5 gram per serving. They're hiding in your healthy margarine, your protein bars, and your restaurant food. Dr. Ekberg's protocol is to eliminate all margarine, vegetable shortening, and any food containing partially hydrogenated oils. Choose grass-fed butter, coconut oil, and olive oil instead. Your cardiovascular system will thank you, and your cellular membranes will regain their flexibility and function within weeks. What if the oil your grandmother cooked with was healthier than every heart-healthy oil recommended today? You've replaced butter with vegetable oil, thinking you're doing your heart a favor. But Dr. Ekberg's metabolic research shows these industrial seed oils are creating an inflammatory firestorm in your body that's aging you from the inside out. Soybean oil, canola oil, corn oil, and sunflower oil undergo extreme processing involving hexane, which is a petroleum byproduct bleaching and deodorizing. The result? Oils so damaged and oxidized that they trigger inflammatory cascades throughout your body. But here's the secret that changes everything. These oils have an omega-6 to omega-3 ratio that's 20-1 when it should be 4-1. This imbalance is driving chronic inflammation, autoimmune diseases, and accelerated aging. Dr. Ekberg's protocol is to replace all processed seed oils with coconut oil for cooking, olive oil for low-heat applications, and grass-fed butter for flavor. Your inflammatory markers will drop dramatically, and you'll notice reduced joint pain and improved skin health within a month. Why does your blood sugar spike higher from 2 slices of whole wheat bread than from a candy bar? You've been told whole grains are healthy, fiber-rich, and, essential for nutrition. But Dr. Ekberg's metabolic testing reveals that modern wheat is actually a glycemic nightmare that's destroying your insulin sensitivity even faster than pure sugar. Modern wheat has, been genetically modified and processed beyond recognition. The gluten proteins have changed, the fiber has been stripped away, and what remains is basically glucose powder molded into familiar shapes. But here's the secret that will probably shock you. The glycemic index of whole wheat bread is 72, which is actually higher than white sugar at 65. Your pancreas can't really tell the difference between bread and candy. Dr. Ekberg's protocol is simple. Eliminate all wheat, refined flour, and grain-based products for 30 days. Replace them with almond flour, coconut flour, or just eat more vegetables and proteins. Your insulin sensitivity will honestly improve dramatically, and many people lose 5 to 10 pounds in the first week just from reduced inflammation and water retention. What if your so-called protein-packed lunch meat is actually a Category 1 carcinogen? You're trying to eat more protein for muscle health and metabolism. You grab convenient deli meats thinking you're making a healthy choice. But Dr. Ekberg warns that these processed proteins are loaded with chemicals that damage your DNA and accelerate cellular aging. Sodium nitrates and nitrites used as preservatives in processed meats convert to nitrosamines in your body, compounds so carcinogenic they're actually used to induce tumors in laboratory animals. But here's the secret most people miss. It's not just the preservatives. The high-temperature processing creates heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, chemicals that damage your cellular DNA and increase cancer risk by 18% for every 50 grams consumed daily. Dr. Ekberg's protocol. Choose fresh, unprocessed meats from grass-fed, pasture-raised animals. If you must have convenience, look for nitrate-free options or make your own. Your cellular DNA repair mechanisms will function better, and you'll reduce your cancer risk significantly. Why do diet soda drinkers actually gain more weight than regular soda drinkers? You switched to artificial sweeteners thinking you're, outsmarting calories and blood sugar. But Dr. Ekberg's research shows these synthetic chemicals are actually reprogramming your metabolism to store fat and crave more sugar. Aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin don't just pass through your body harmlessly. They alter your gut bacteria, disrupt your hormonal signaling, and create insulin resistance, the exact opposite of what you're trying to achieve. But here's the secret that, honestly, changes everything. Your brain can't be fooled. When it tastes sweetness but doesn't receive calories, it triggers cravings for real food that often lead to overeating. Studies show artificial sweetener users consume over 200 more calories per day on average. Dr. Ekberg's protocol. Eliminate all artificial sweeteners and train your taste buds to enjoy natural flavors. Use stevia, monk fruit, or small amounts of raw honey if needed. Within 2 weeks, your sugar cravings will decrease dramatically and your natural satiety signals will return. Why does the same food that makes some people healthy make others chronically ill? You've heard milk does a body good, but honestly, my clinical experience shows that modern dairy products are inflammatory triggers for most adults, creating digestive chaos and autoimmune reactions. Commercial dairy cows are given hormones, antibiotics, and fed inflammatory corn and soy diets. The milk is then pasteurized at high temperatures, which destroys beneficial enzymes and alters protein structures. What you're left with, well, it bears little resemblance to the nutrient-dense food our ancestors consumed. But here's the secret most people don't realize. Lactose intolerance isn't a deficiency, it's actually normal. After weaning, most humans naturally lose the ability to produce lactase. Forcing your body to process lactose creates chronic inflammation, digestive issues, and mucus production. The protocol? Eliminate conventional dairy for 30 days and monitor your energy, digestion, and respiratory health. If you tolerate dairy well, choose organic, grass-fed, and preferably raw options. Many people report clearer skin, better digestion, and reduced sinus congestion within just a few weeks. What if the food marketed as a health food is actually disrupting your hormones and thyroid function? You've been told soy is a healthy protein alternative, especially for women going through menopause. But my endocrine research shows that unfermented soy products contain compounds that can disrupt your hormonal balance and interfere with thyroid function. Soy contains phytoestrogens, plant estrogens, and goitrogens, which are thyroid-disrupting compounds. In moderate amounts from traditional fermented sources, these can be beneficial. But the highly processed soy protein, isolates, and soy oils in modern foods can really overwhelm your system. But here's the secret the soy industry won't tell you. 94% of soy is genetically modified and heavily sprayed with glyphosate. The processing also creates MSG and aluminum residues. So you're not just getting plant estrogens, you're getting a cocktail of industrial chemicals. The protocol? Avoid processed soy products like soy protein powder, soy milk, and soy-based meat substitutes. If you enjoy soy, stick to small amounts of traditionally fermented options like miso, tempeh, or natto. Your hormonal balance will stabilize and many women report improved menstrual health. Why is the fish you think is healthy actually more toxic than the factory-farmed meat you're trying to avoid? You switched to fish for omega-3 fatty acids and lean protein. You're doing everything right for heart and brain health. But I have to warn you, farm-raised fish are swimming in a toxic soup that makes them one of the most contaminated protein sources available. Farm-raised fish are fed corn, soy, and fish meal contaminated with PCBs, antibiotics, and artificial colorings. They're crowded in pens where disease spreads rapidly, requiring more antibiotics. The result is fish with inflammatory omega-6 fats instead of beneficial omega-3s. But here's the secret that will change how you shop. Farm-raised salmon contains 16 times more PCBs than wild salmon. These persistent organic pollutants accumulate in your fat tissue and disrupt your endocrine system for decades. The protocol? Choose only wild-caught fish, focusing on smaller species like sardines, anchovies, and wild salmon that are lower in heavy metals. If budget is a concern, canned wild fish is often more affordable than farm-raised fresh fish. Your omega-3 levels will optimize and you'll avoid hormone-disrupting chemicals. What if your brain food is actually poisoning your nervous system? You're eating fish for cognitive health, following every recommendation for brain-protective nutrients. But Dr. Ekberg's neurotoxicology research shows that certain fish contain mercury levels that can damage your nervous system faster than they can nourish it. Mercury accumulates in large predatory fish like tuna, swordfish, and king mackerel. This neurotoxin crosses the blood-brain barrier and interferes with neurotransmitter function, memory formation, and cognitive processing. But here's the secret most people don't know. The mercury in fish is methylmercury, the most toxic form. It has a half-life of over 70 days in your body, meaning it takes months to clear even small exposures. Regular consumption leads to bioaccumulation that can cause brain fog, memory problems, and mood disorders. Dr. Ekberg's protocol. Avoid high-mercury fish entirely. Focus on smash fish, sardines, mackerel, anchovies, salmon, herring, which are high in omega-3 fatty acids but low in mercury. Your cognitive function will improve, and you'll avoid heavy metal accumulation that accelerates brain aging. Why are the foods you think are healthiest actually exposing you to neurotoxic chemicals every single day? You're eating more fruits and vegetables following every nutritional guideline. You feel virtuous about your produce consumption, but Dr. Ekberg's toxicology research shows that conventionally grown produce can expose you to pesticide cocktails that disrupt your nervous system and hormone function. The dirty dozen, strawberries, spinach, peaches, apples, grapes, and others, are sprayed with multiple pesticides including organophosphates, which are neurotoxins originally developed as nerve agents in World War II. But here's the secret that changes everything. These chemicals don't wash off. They're systemic, meaning they're absorbed into the plant tissue. Peeling doesn't help because the chemicals are throughout the food. You're consuming neurotoxins with every healthy bite. Dr. Ekberg's protocol. Buy organic versions of the dirty dozen, or choose produce from the Clean 15 list where pesticide residues are minimal. If budget is tight, prioritize organic for the foods you eat most often. Your nervous system will function better, and you'll reduce your toxic load significantly. What if the glass of red wine you think is protecting your heart is actually accelerating cellular aging throughout your entire body? You've heard about the French paradox and resveratrol benefits. You enjoy your evening wine thinking it's contributing to longevity, but Dr. Ekberg's cellular research reveals that alcohol is a direct cellular toxin that accelerates aging at the DNA level. Alcohol is metabolized into acetaldehyde, a compound that's more toxic than alcohol itself. This creates oxidative stress, depletes glutathione, your master antioxidant, and causes direct DNA damage. Every drink literally shortens your telomeres, the protective caps on your chromosomes that determine cellular age. But here's the secret most people miss. There's no safe amount of alcohol for longevity. Even moderate drinking increases cancer risk, disrupts sleep architecture, and impairs your body's natural detoxification processes. The benefits you've heard about can be obtained from grape seeds, berries, and other sources without the toxic effects. Dr. Ekberg's protocol. If longevity is your goal, eliminate alcohol completely. If you choose to drink socially, limit it to special occasions and never drink daily. Focus on supporting your liver's detoxification with cruciferous vegetables and antioxidant-rich foods. your sleep quality will improve immediately, and your cellular repair mechanisms will function optimally. You now possess the knowledge that most people will never discover. Dr. Sten Ekberg has spent decades researching the cellular mechanisms of aging and disease. These 12 foods aren't just unhealthy, they're systematically programming your body for accelerated aging and chronic disease. But here's the most empowering truth. Your body wants to heal. Every single cell in your body is designed for optimal function, longevity, and vitality. Remove these metabolic poisons, and your body's innate healing wisdom takes over. Start tonight. Choose one category from this list and eliminate it completely for the next 30 days. Monitor your energy, sleep, digestion, and mood. You'll be amazed at what your body is capable of when you stop poisoning it with foods disguised as nutrition. Your cellular age is not your chronological age. Every food choice is either contributing to your vitality or stealing it. You now have the knowledge to choose wisely. Which food will you eliminate first? Your future self will thank you for the decision you make today. Remember, you were meant to be truly healthy. Without your health, nothing else matters. Subscribe for more cellular health optimization strategies and start your transformation tonight.